Hey folks, Adam AI for UH here. I posted a video recently showing this amazing QRP size bug, which I used for a Parks on the Air activation. And one of the comments on that video was actually Forrest, Utah Forrest, KI7QCF, who has an amazing YouTube channel. If you haven't seen Forrest yet, definitely go check him out. He said, "How much does that weigh?" And I thought, well, gee, that's an excellent question. How much does my field kit, my Parks on the Air kit weigh? So I figured, let me put together a little video. I'll show you what's in my kit, and then we'll pack it up and we'll weigh it. So first things first, the radio is a true SDX. If you're not familiar with these radios, this is an excellent little radio. It's actually an SDR radio, and they work really well. You can power them with basically any field power supply. The speakers in them, the makers say they're really more of an emergency speaker, so I like to have an external speaker. They do make smaller ones than this, but this one is really good performance, and I like that. This is the battery. This is a talent cell battery, but I also can power this radio from any 12-volt battery up to and including a phone battery bank. So I have a couple of different kits to use for that. And then of course we've got the charger for that battery. I've got a charger that I can use for the speaker, even though I don't normally carry that charger with me because I would charge it before I go. And if I'm going to be traveling somewhere, I've got another charger that would be in my backpack that I would just use to charge this when I got home in the evening. And then of course, some essentials. This is my K6 ARK antenna, which I've cut for 20 meters. You can see it screwed into the side of the radio right there, the transformer. A roll of electrical tape. This is the ham radio field operations problem solver. Electrical tape is to ham radio field operations as duct tape is to everything else in the world. If you've got something that's not supposed to move, you can solve that with electrical tape. And then of course I like to use Mason's twine. It's a real lightweight string just to throw antennas up into trees or otherwise keep things where I want to keep them. And I like to carry a small lighter, which doesn't work. Haha, I need a new lighter. That's so funny. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so this lighter is actually to cut the Mason's twine. You can cut it really easily with the lighter. And what's great about that is, one, the ends won't fray because they've been melted instead of cut. And two, cutting devices, a little knife or something, you can't take that on a plane. And I usually travel with this kit, but the lighter has not ever been a problem for me. Don't let me be your TSA representative, though. I haven't had a problem traveling with the lighter. Do your own research before you travel. And then finally, last but not least, I've got two fantastic keys here. This one is the KA6 IRL QRP size J36 bug, which I've recently done a couple of videos on, so I won't get too much into that here, but definitely check the top corner right now for a link to those videos if you're interested. And then also, this is one of my favorite straight keys, and I'll actually turn the rig on here. I've already got this rig set up so that it is not actually sending out any power. I've got the TX drive set to 0 on it currently, so I can just make a little bit of noise for you. Let me also turn that speaker on. So what I really like about this key, this is actually a classic key. This is a Bunnell Model 6B key, which they made for Western Electric, and Western Electric used 4 of these keys. They were numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4 in their field test kits for engineers who were working on the telephone and telegraph lines. And it's a fantastic little key. I've just mounted it on a little plastic project box, which I have then glued to a piece of Velcro. And this makes a really great leg strap key, or even an arm strap key. If you're in a situation where you're not able to sit down, you can actually, strap this right onto your arm, and now you've got an arm strap key, and it works really well. So no problem using that, whether it's leg strap or arm strap. I really like this straight key. Oops, bumped the camera. I really like this straight key because it's all the performance of a full-size key in a smaller size, and I don't think it cost me very much at all. I found this key probably on eBay or QRZ for probably $30 or $40, and then of course the plastic box and the Velcro cost a couple of bucks each. The wire cost a couple of bucks. All this wraps up really nicely, and you know, for under 50 bucks, I've got a high quality leg or arm strap key that I can take with me in pretty much any kit. So let's go ahead and get all of this packed up. First things first, let's go ahead and take care of this key. That's looking a little messy there. So that bundle of wire is going to go right there, and we'll go ahead and wrap that up. I've got another little piece of the Velcro right here to seal it down with. And then this bug, I've got a little piece of extension cord on that just so I can have a little bit of mobility. I'm using this alligator clip as a pendulum extender because I haven't made a pendulum extender in miniature yet. So I just clip that on there. And then I've got the case that it came with, but for travel purposes, this fits a whole lot better in this little eyeglasses case. So I just put that in there, and a little foam to keep it from sliding around and otherwise becoming broken. And then of course the speaker folds up real nice. The antenna comes right off, and now we can just start packing everything up. And the lighter actually fits down inside. And my electrical tape. Ooh, we didn't talk about the flag tape. If I'm anywhere where I'm going to be set up that there's other people walking around and I have strings running along, I will tie a little piece of this flag on it so that nobody trips over the string or pulls down my antennas or gets themselves hurt. So flag tape, if you have room for it in your kit, is a very nice addition. All right, and our charger and antenna. Starting to get just a little bit full here, but it all came out of this bag, so it should all go back in, right? Let me so elegantly stuff everything right on there. And we'll get it zipped up. Let me get the antenna a little more carefully stowed here. And we'll get it zipped up. Okay, and I did leave off this charger. I really don't bring that with me. I try to only pack exactly what I need for any given adventure, but that's it. That's my sack. So let's go ahead and grab a scale. And currently this is set, there we go. So this is in pounds and ounces. My kit is 3 pounds, 1.8 ounces, which is 1.414 kilograms. So 1.414 kilograms, 3 pounds, 1 ounce. That's my kit ready to go. Let's talk about a couple of bonus features. So if I'm going to be hiking somewhere that doesn't have a lot of trees, or doesn't have very tall trees, which is, you know, quite a bit here in Arizona, I will usually pack one of these fishing poles. So this one here is 6.3 meters, and it is the medium hardness. And if I want a taller one, I have a taller one. It just weighs a little bit more. And this one is the harder 7.2 meter. You'll notice also I have 3 guy wires for each one of these, again with the electrical tape, you know, taped on here. And then, you know, your choice of stakes. If I'm hiking, you know, I like to use plastic stakes because they weigh less. If I'm not hiking in too far, metal stakes work better. And if I have to get on an airplane, neither of these stakes will work because the TSA has a rule about tools being 7 inches or less to go in your carry-on. So if I'm going to be on an airplane, I use these little metal stakes, and they usually do a good enough job to hold these poles up in the air. And again, if you're going to be somewhere where there's not a lot of trees and you have room in your bags for one of these collapsible fiberglass fishing poles, it's a great addition to your kit. But you know, with that mason's twine, I have not had a problem typically finding a tree or something else that's tall enough, like the you know, the roof of a pavilion or some other feature that I can throw a string over and pull an antenna up. And yeah, makes for an excellent activation. Anyway, that's my kit. Hope everybody enjoyed that, and if you like this kind of content, definitely let me know. It's a little bit different than what I normally do, and I'd be happy to do more of it if this is enjoyable or helpful to you. So you know, thank you very much. Leave me a comment if you like, and we'll see you on the next one. 7-3 everybody. Da da did it da da.